Once again, welcome to my channel. This is my 11th presentation on how to draw a house in 1-point perspective. In this presentation, I use Berkeley Sketchpad and a pencil number 2. And of course the triangle with grid lines, and it's easier for me to use this. The first thing to do is determine your horizon line and vanishing point. This is based on the level and angle of the viewer from the building. Then proceed in outlining your massing. And as you can see, I drew 3 horizontal lines, and these are the ground floor finish floor line, second floor finish floor line, and second floor ceiling line. And as you observe, the massing of my building has a shape of letter U. So, what is the main purpose of this? Basically, to have more ventilation, light source, and for the vegetation as well. Because I want to make my design a cozy yet vibrant place to live. And I also wanted to put deep overhangs or the balcony, which will also serve as a buffer of the heat coming from the sun. Because remember, we only need an ample supply of sunlight that we practically need. And we should minimize the heat coming from the sun by using buffers, like the use of overhangs, louvers, and vegetations. And here, I wanted to put wooden trellis for skylight and cross ventilation. And for the left portion, I put a deck above the enclosed structure for gathering purposes or celebrations. And this will be accessible in the swimming pool with an overview of it also. And as you can see, I always incorporate my entourage in my design because this will always have a purpose. I also wanted to put an accent wall perpendicular to the stairs going to the roof deck. And after you have completed your sketch, you can now finalize it with an ink. And here, I use Unipin Fine Line 0.3. As you can see, for this presentation, I started to ink in my foreground, going to its details and to the background because I want to lessen the overlapping of the ink, and that's what I'm comfortable with. But of course, it will always depend on your strategy on how you ink it properly in a lesser time. And by the way, for those who subscribe this channel, thank you for your support. And if you are not yet subscribed, feel free to click the subscribe button and watch my other video tutorials. And the links are in the description box below. And for other architectural drawings and sketches, feel free to visit my Instagram account and my Facebook page. The links are also in the description box below. In my design, I also put ventilation or concrete louver in the roof eaves for cross ventilation, which will lessen the heat gain from the roof.
Jurif.com.
I also wanted the flooring to be paneled, so I put termination lines. And same with the roof eaves and ceiling. And after you have completed inking, you can now choose the rendering materials you want to apply. And for this presentation, I will be using colored markers for shadows and shades. And for the rest, it will be watercolor. And for the shadows, I use warm gray for color. And for the edges with these slicers, I used warm gray 7. But if you're not contented with the shadows later on or the hardness of the shadow, you can repeat applying with the warm gray 4 or either use the warm gray 7 as well. And after you have completed putting shadows, you can now proceed to watercolor rendering, and I'm using the watercolor prang. And in watercolor rendering, always start in your background and start from light to dark to allow adjustments in the hardness of the paint that you want to achieve. Then, I applied light yellow-green for the entourage, and we'll repeat it later with darker colors and brighter colors when you finalize it. Then, apply the base color of all the surfaces of your design, and repeat it again after it dries. For the ground or decking, I apply dark brown to give contrast to the ceiling and eaves. for the glass windows and doors, I applied light blue. Then we'll repeat it with darker blue for shades, but this will depend on the light source. The brighter the glass, the lighter or lesser color of paint you will apply. While the darker the glass, the harder tone of blue will be applied. And remember to leave some gaps for reflections. And as you can see, I applied darker color of brown by panels and randomly. And this will show the arrangement of wood, showing imperfections and color variations.
Giraffe.
Then just repeat applying the surfaces depending on the tone or hardness of the tone that you want, or if you are satisfied with. If you want to show the visibility inside your building, you can do so. You can also put some silhouettes of the furniture or your ceiling. And for the brick tiles or accent bricks, I used navy green and applied with the tip of the flat brush. Then we'll repeat it after it dries with harder tone. Also finalize the glass. Put darker blue on the edges, and you can also use white ink or correction fluid to show reflections of the glass or windows and doors. Then lastly, finalize your entourage. Apply darker green for the middle, yellow green or yellow for the highlights on the top of the plants or leaves of it. Then put some shadows on the bottom of it. And that's it. Thanks for watching. And remember to support this channel by simply clicking like, subscribe, and click the bell button to be updated for upcoming videos. And for other architectural perspectives and sketches, feel free to visit my Instagram account and Facebook page. And for other tutorials and presentations, you can see the links in my description box below.